Week 1 of the NFL is officially in the books as we have a stacked lineup of football cards and a few baseball cards as we inch closer to the postseason. We'll tell you next in today's Top 5.
My name is Jeff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me and my team as we help you profit from the hobby we all love.
What is up, everybody? I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend filled with football and some September baseball action. The Week 1 NFL slate was a blast to watch for card collectors as we saw some of the hobby's favorites take the field for the first time in 2022. And with that said, let's get right into some hot cards, and it's brought to you by Whatnot. Whatnot is a new way to shop for live auctions starting at $1 24/7. Whether you're looking for cheap packs or rare boxes, high-end cards, brand new product releases, or box breaks, Whatnot is the fastest way to find, buy, and break cards live. And use our special link in the video description below to get $10 in free credit when you sign up for Whatnot and make your first purchase. All right, let's take a look at the overall sports card market with Market Pulse by Market Movers. And over the last 7 days, the SCI 500 index of the 500 most prominent sports cards is down roughly 0.9%, compared to the last 30 days where the SCI 500 was down roughly 2%, 1.9. So we're starting to inch closer towards the right direction. And if we want to look at the best performing category of cards over the last 30 days, that's going to be soccer from 2018 to 2020, where we've seen roughly a 19% increase. And the worst performing is 90s hockey, where we've seen that decline about 14%. And as a reminder, the cards that you'll see in today's show have gone up in price recently, but aren't necessarily good investments right now. So please do your own research to decide which cards you think will go up in value next. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's get into today's Top 5. And we're going to start off with a cold card today, and that cold card is New York Jets quarterback Zack Wilson. This is a guy that was drafted really high last year out of BYU. I know the Jets and a lot of Jets card collectors are hoping that he can make a splash in the league. But as of right now, he's out until potentially week 4 with a knee injury that he suffered during the preseason. Now, if we look at his numbers last year, they weren't all that great out the gate. He passed for about 2,300 yards, he had 9 touchdowns and 11 picks in just 13 games. Now, he's still a pretty popular buy in the hobby, and the fact that he plays for the New York Jets will definitely give him a ceiling in terms of his popularity within the card market. Now, let's look at the particular card today that has been dropping, and that is his 2021 Donruss base PSA 10 with a pop count of around 250. And this card over the last 30 days is down 61%. It started at about $108 and then has dropped on the 8th to around $42. So things aren't necessarily looking great right now for Zack Wilson cards. If you look at his PSA 10s tracked collectively in Market Movers, you'll see that they're down 27% collectively. So, you know, this is something where I know the Jets fans are really looking forward to see him getting back on the field. They did not look particularly well against the Ravens in week 1. So this could be a potential to buy a dip. We'll see how things play out for Zack Wilson and the New York Jets this year. And to start off our hot cards today is superstar wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson. Now, Justin Jefferson has been known as one of the hottest wide receivers in the hobby over the last year and looked at as one of the best wide receivers in the game right now. And he certainly showed it in week 1, having a career best 184 yards and 2 touchdowns in a commanding win against the Green Bay Packers. I mean, if you were watching this game, there were certain points where he was completely wide open. So that's great to see for Justin Jefferson card collectors and Minnesota Viking fans. Now, if we look at his hot card today, the one that we're going to highlight is his 2020 Prism Base PSA 10 that has a population of about 809. Now, over the last 7 days, we've seen this card go up roughly 44% from September 5th up into the 11th. Now, yeah, as we've talked about before, any PSA 10s that are selling once per day is generally good volume. So yes, it's only been 7 days, but to see that kind of volume shows that the market is reacting to Justin Jefferson's week 1 and to see how he could potentially do for the rest of the season. He's back. And at the number 4 spot, we have the Millville Meteor, the Los Angeles Angels star, Mike Trout. Now, this is a guy who was injured a lot throughout the year, but he's back and he is absolutely tearing the cover off of the ball. He's batting .279 this year with 35 home runs and 69 RBIs this season. He's currently homered in 7 consecutive games, and that's one shy from tying the all-time record. So this is a guy over the course of this week that has been absolutely raking. And if we look at his card that's in the top 5 today, naturally, it's going to be his 2011 Topps Update PSA 10, which has been up roughly 13% over the last 7 days on 15 sales. You could see here on September 5th, it started roughly around $1,600 and has now worked its way to around $1,825 on September 12th. And if you look at all of Trout's PSA 10s tracked in market movers, they're up 5% collectively over the last 7 days. So I think you can say that this is a direct correlation of his home run streak. And it's going to be curious to see if he can keep the streak alive the next time that Trout plays. And number 3 for today's hot cards is Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase had an absolutely big day on Sunday in week 1. He finished with 10 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown. He could have very well had 2 touchdowns if Zach Taylor challenged the play where his foot was in the end zone. But needless to say, he is coming out this season ready to prove that he is one of the best in all of football. The Bengals did have a tough loss in overtime behind Burrow's 5 turnovers, but it's great to see that Chase was still the vocal point and is easily becoming one of the hobby's favorite wide receivers. Now we look at the card today that we're highlighting. So Jamar Chase's 2021 Donruss base is up 13% over the last 2 weeks, but the card that we're looking at today is his Donruss Press Proof Premium PSA 10 that has a pop of roughly 445, and as you can see, it's up about 93% over the last 14 days. If you see here, August 29th, it was going for about $129 and has now escalated to around $250. And if you look at the rest of his PSA 10s that are tracked in market movers, you'll see that they're up about 15% over the last 14 days. So it's clear that card collectors are hyped to see if Jamar Chase can get back to the Super Bowl and can put himself as one of the best wide receivers in all of football. Taking our number 2 spot in today's hot cards is NL Cy Young candidate Zack Gallen. Now, Arizona D-backs pitcher Zack Gallen currently was on a 44.5 consecutive scoreless inning streak, but it recently got snapped. But don't get it twisted, he's been great all season long. He has a 12-2 record with a 2.5 ERA and 158 innings pitched. Now today we're looking at, and the Zack Gallen card that we're looking at today is his 2020 Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10 with a pop of just 88. And this card has gone up a whopping 173% over the last 30 days on 9 sales. Now, as you can see, on August 13th, it was going for only $20 really, and through the course of his dominance has now gotten itself up to around $60. And if you look at all of his PSA 10s tracked in market movers, you'll see that they're up 126% collectively. So when you start to see a pitcher that has a lot of talent, has a lot of potential, start to put it together, you start to see his card market react in a positive way. And now it's time for this week's number 1 card, but before I give it to you, let me remind you that all of the charts in today's episode are from Market Movers. Market Movers tracks over 800,000 cards of all types, and now it's only $9.99 per month. Try it free for 7 days by going to sportscardinvestor.com and clicking Market Movers in the main menu bar. And the number 1 hottest card this week goes to future first ballot surefire Hall of Famer, first baseman Albert Pujols. Now, the machine has absolutely been tearing the cover off the ball in the second half of the season as all of MLB baseball and card collectors watch him close in on 700 home runs. He's currently sitting at 697, and during that stretch, he's put himself third all-time in RBIs behind Babe Ruth and Hammerin' Hank Aaron. Now, he is expected to retire after this season, so hitting 700 would be a fitting ending to arguably this generation's best hitter. Now, the card that we're looking at today is his 2001 Upper Deck Base PSA 10 rookie, which, if you ask me, is a very nice alternative compared to his more popular Topps or his Bowman rookies. And if we see over the last 30 days, this card has gone up 47% on 17 sales. On August 14th, it was going for around $374 and has now worked its way up to around $550. So as we inch closer to the end of the season, we're going to see if he can hit 3 more home runs and get to 700. The Cardinals do have a commanding lead in the NL Central, so he may have an opportunity as well in the postseason to make history in Major League Baseball. Alrighty, folks, that's it for today's top 5. Remember, Market Movers is now just $9.99 per month, so go to sportscardinvestor.com and click on Market Movers in the main menu bar. And as always, please smash that like and subscribe button, and we will see you next time.